Hello again. It's time for my last and final book haul of April. And these are the books. This is basically my sci-fi, fantasy, and everything else video. So first off, I'm going to talk about the sci-fi. I wind up finding book 4 of the Expanse series, Cibola Burned, at a discount price at Barnes & Noble. Well, because now I have the 4th book, I have to buy the 2nd and 3rd book. And obviously these don't match because I bought the 2nd on Amazon and the 3rd I bought at Barnes & Noble. But I am definitely looking forward to getting into this series. I really love Leviathan Wakes, and now I have no excuse because I have 3 big books to get through. I've heard people say it just gets better and better, so I am definitely looking forward to diving into this series. So those are my sci-fi books. The next haul I found at a used bookstore, and I mentioned this book that I read when I was younger called Virtual Mode, and I never read the other books, and I found the other 2 books in the Mode series by Piers Anthony, which is Fractal Mode and Chaos Mode, and decided I might as well just read the whole series. Now, for those who don't know what the series is about, let me read what the first book talks about here. Imagine a world where the clouds are made of crystals that constantly change their beautiful colors, where joy is sacred, where conjurers fly people from village to village. Imagine, too, that this world and more exist simultaneously, and that it is possible to travel between them. Virtual Mode. At first, Colleen didn't believe the strange man she found lying on the side of the road. He spoke of a different world filled with wonder, was dressed in clothes she had never seen before, and knew a language she had never heard. He said that he loved her and wanted to take her back to his home. Colleen suspected Darius was crazy until he vanished before her eyes. Well, if falling in love was crazy, Colleen was now fully prepared to say goodbye to reality and hello to an infinite world of dragons and monsters and impossible dreams. So these are all Piers Anthony books, and I think this might be the only stuff I actually read by Piers Anthony was the Virtual Mode. So I'm going to see how this holds up. I'm going to reread Virtual Mode, and then I'm going to finish out the series, and I am looking forward to it. So though this is the Mode series by Piers Anthony. And the last 2 books I picked up don't really fit into those categories. I found them at the used bookstores. First one, Colson Whitehead's The Underground Railroad. Cora is a slave on a cotton plantation in Georgia. Life is hell for all the slaves, but especially bad for Cora, an outcast even among her fellow Africans. She is coming into womanhood, where even greater pain awaits. When Caesar, a recent arrival from Virginia, tells her about the Underground Railroad, they decide to take a terrifying risk and escape. Matters do not go as planned. Cora kills a young white boy who tries to capture her. Though they manage to find a station and head north, they are being hunted. In Whitehead's ingenious conception, the Underground Railroad is no mere metaphor. Engineers and conductors operate a secret network of tracks and tunnels beneath the southern soil. Cora and Caesar's first stop is South Carolina, in a city that initially seems like a haven, but the city's placid surface masks an insidious scheme designed for its black denizens. And even worse, Ridgeway, the relentless slave catcher, is close on their heels. Forced to flee again, Cora embarks on a harrowing flight, state by state, seeking true freedom. Like the protagonist of Gulliver Travels, Cora encounters different worlds at each stage of her journey. Here is an odyssey through time as well as space, as Whitehead brilliantly recreates the unique terrors of black people in the pre-Civil War era. His narrative seamlessly weaves the saga of America from the brutal importance of Africans to the unfulfilled promises of the present day. The Underground Railroad is at once a kinetic adventure tale of one woman's ferocious will to escape the horrors of bondage and a shattering, powerful meditation on the history we all share. So I've heard a lot about this book, and I was glad to see it in the used bookstore. It's actually a pretty good copy. I'm looking forward to reading it. So that is Colson Whitehead's The Underground Railroad. And the last book, I watched Gerald the Bookworm do my Quiet Place book tag, and he mentioned this book, and I found it used for $5. So I decided to really pick it up because it sounded really interesting, and it is called The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu. This is a true story. It is in the 1980s, a young adventurer and collector for a government library, Abdel Kader Haidara, journeyed across the Sahara and along the Niger River, tracking down and salvaging tens of thousands of ancient Islamic and secular manuscripts that were crumbling in the trunks of desert farmers. His goal was to preserve this crucial part of the world's patrimony in a gorgeous library, but then Al-Qaeda showed up at the door. The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu Timbuktu tell the incredible story of how Haidara, a mild-mannered archivist and historian from the legendary city of Timbuktu, became one of the world's greatest and most brazen smugglers by saving the text from sure destruction. With bravery and patience, he organized a dangerous operation to sneak all 350,000 volumes out of the city to the safety of southern Mali. This real-life thriller is a reminder that ordinary citizens often do the most to protect the beauty and imagination of their culture. It is also the story of a man who, through extreme circumstances, discovered his higher calling and was changed forever by it. So it sounds like a really interesting book, and it is a nonfiction book, so I am kind of interested in the story because it is so unique. And that is The Badass Librarians of Timbuktu. And that is it for all the books that I bought in April. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.